everyone. Welcome to the God is Groovy podcast. My name is Gracie Brock, and I'm your host. And today I want to give a special thank you to Supreme Building and Shelby Durham
Mhm.
Photography. Today I have a very special friend with me, the Shelby Durham. Shelby has been there to document so many of my dreams come true, so many just opportunities that I've
Mhm.
had, and a sweet friendship has come from that. I was her first Ferris the Fair
Mhm.
queen that she documented at the fair. She was there to document my proposal at the fair as well.
Mhm.
And there have just been so many sweet moments, and just being able to share our faith with each other has been really special. And so I just wanted her to come on and share a little bit about who she is and what the Lord's done for her and her involvement with the community because everyone just loves her. So
Thank
if you could
you.
just
Okay.
tell a little bit about
Well,
yourself.
thank you for having me. My name is Shelby Durham. I am from McMinnville. This is home. Um, my husband and I did leave for a long time. It was 15 years that we were
Mhm.
gone, and we moved back to McMinnville. It'll be 5 years ago this December. We have three little boys, Bowen, Tate, and Hoke, and yeah, that's my life, and we're just so thankful to be back home and serving the community that we love, and we with have no doubts that we are exactly where God intended us to be. So,
Yes.
mhm.
And another thing is that you also go to my church, First
I do,
Baptist,
I
and
do.
I'm so glad that you have found a home with our church.
Me
And
too,
so
me
that's just
too.
another sweet outlet
Hmm.
that we have together.
Hmm.
But if you just want to share a little bit of your testimony,
Okay, I can.
yeah.
Um, so I can look back on all parts of my life and see how God has worked and how he has worked everything out for his good, even in the times that I have fought it or didn't agree with him, maybe,
Yeah.
and, but I won't go into like my entire life testimony,
Yeah.
but I will back up to the point where our life did pivot and we ended up back in Marianna, Florida.
Hmm.
So there was a short time that we lived in Panama City, and we lived there for 2 years. And we went through Hurricane Michael. It was October 10th of 2018. And a long story short, our home was unlivable. And we ended up having to move back to Marianna in with Matt's parents. And at that point, we had been married for 12 years. And 2 weeks to the day the hurricane hit, I found out that I was pregnant with my first baby.
Yeah.
And life from that point forward was a complete roller coaster of ups and downs.
Yeah.
And it took Matthew and I hitting rock bottom for us to fully surrender and commit our lives to the Lord. And in that time period, I got my hands on my first camera.
Yeah.
And I've always been an artist, but mostly like with acrylics or drawing or that sort of medium. And after I had my first baby, I didn't have enough time to like sit down at an easel and just paint. And so I woke up one morning and decided that I was going to learn that camera, and it has not stopped.
It has changed a
It
lot.
has changed my life. It has changed
Yeah.
my life because like I look back on it and I can remember thinking when I was pregnant with Bowen, because I had not picked up a camera at that point, how am I going to stay home with him? Because I
Yeah.
knew going back to work was something that I was probably going to have to do, but I did not want to do.
Yeah.
And the camera, learning the camera and being diligent with the camera and just sticking with it has changed my whole life. So,
Yeah.
mhm, yeah.
Do you think you could share a little bit, um, the disaster that happened in your
Mhm.
old hometown and how that shook your faith, but how it also grew your faith,
Mhm.
and then finding out that you were pregnant like soon after.
Mhm.
Like, how did God walk you through all of the devastation, but
Mhm.
also excitement that was kind of happening all at once?
Yeah. So finding out that I was pregnant with Bowen 2 weeks after the hurricane, at first I really questioned God, like, um, right now, like
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
because I know that I wasn't homeless because I had a home to go to, but Matthew and I, you know, we we've been on our own, for 12 years,
Yeah.
and then it's like, our jobs are having to change. Our home was not livable to go back to. So I questioned God, but it didn't take long for me to realize that the pregnancy was like a rainbow after a
Yeah.
storm,
Yeah.
like it gave us something to focus our energy on, and realize that the life that we had before the hurricane was not for us.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And so I can remember one day I was sitting on the bed in my in-laws office, and I was feeling bad for myself because there were people complaining about something. Was like, well, you, in my head I was thinking, well, you didn't just go through a cat 5 hurricane, and you should, you know feel how I feel, and just
Yeah.
a pity party.
Yeah.
And I started to type out a sentence, you should try being displaced. And I felt the Lord nudge me, and I thought, I have not been displaced, I have been placed. Now, whether or not that placement looked like I would have thought it needed to look,
Yeah.
it truly took a cat 5 hurricane for Matthew and I to realize, okay, we've got to get our lives, you know, back on track. And it still took time. There was a lot of hurt and heartache that came after that.
Yeah.
But it all worked out for the Lord. It
Yeah.
did.
One thing that I really liked that you said that stood out to me is whenever you said that um the life that you had before the hurricane
Mhm.
was not the life that the Lord had for you.
No.
And so your life probably felt like beforehand that it was just destroying you,
Mhm.
and then your home was destroyed.
Mhm.
But I've heard a lot of people say, sometimes life has to break you before the Lord can put you back
That's
together.
exactly
And
right.
it's not the Lord breaking you,
Mhm.
it's the just the things that happen in life,
Yep.
but God allows certain things to
He
happen
does.
so
Mhm.
that we can come back to him.
Mhm.
Um and just you talking about that reminded me of that. And
Right.
I think that that's a good reminder for so many people that are going through hardships, that the Lord will put you back together as long as
Mhm.
you have faith in that.
That's right. And you have to allow him.
Yeah.
You have to allow him and have faith in what has to take place to get you to the point that he wants you.
Yeah.
And you have to be willing to receive that even when it's not fun.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um so what was it like coming back to McMinnville?
Mhm.
Because I know that you grew up
Mhm.
here, right?
Yeah,
A
I
little
did.
bit. What was it like coming back to McMinnville and kind of starting over in a
Mhm.
sense?
So this is home. So I lived in the Warren County area the most of my life
Mhm.
up until the point of 17.
Yeah.
Matthew and I got married when I was 17 and he was 19. So I
Mhm.
went to Florida and finished high school, went to college and built a life there.
Yeah.
Um, but coming home, knowing I, it's just home. Like
Yeah.
I can remember crossing the Tennessee line for the first time as a resident, coming home to be a resident for the first time in 15 years, when normally I would be crying with the Tennessee sign in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
Like it's not that I hated Florida, but it wasn't my home.
Yeah.
And so it did not take long for us to get here and for the community to realize that we were back.
Yeah.
And they have really just like
Embraced you.
embraced us. Absolutely. And I'll never leave. I, it would take a cat 5 hurricane
Yeah.
coming through McMinnville for me to leave. Like
Yeah.
this is my home. And um without a shadow of a doubt, this is where the Lord has my family and myself.
Yeah.
And I will serve him and our community until the day I die. Like this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah,
So
that's so
yeah.
amazing. I've
Mm.
always said you will have to drag my body out of Warren County.
Yeah.
I love
Yep.
it here, and
Hmm.
I love that you're back and that
Hmm.
you're serving our community in so many different aspects. You serve at church, you serve with the fair. You've had so many amazing opportunities coming your way with
Mm.
photography.
Yeah.
You do a ton of weddings and events, and it's just been so cool seeing
Hmm.
you have all these opportunities that are so
Hmm.
deserving.
Well, I appreciate that, and I think a lot. I give a lot of the success to the Lord
Yeah, of
with the
course.
connections that I've made and the paths of people that I have crossed. And um, I truly believe that if the Lord has blessed you with a talent, that you should be willing to give back,
Yes,
whether
absolutely.
that is helping someone start in photography
Yeah.
or doing in a community event where you don't get paid a paycheck, but like the blessings that come from
It's
that
so
are,
far greater.
oh, they're so far greater.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I often tell people, like, if I did not do photography to help provide for my family,
Yeah.
I would still do photography.
Yeah.
Like, this is not um a burden to me,
Yeah, it's not a job to you.
No,
And that's so
no.
evident in the
Hmm.
work that you do.
Thank you.
Um, one thing that we were talking about last night,
Hmm.
you had a dream
I did.
about the house that you're living in now.
Hmm.
Do you want to share a little bit about that dream?
I can. Um, Matthew and I have recently been blessed with a home that belonged to my grandfather. Um, and my dad is the one who gifted us this home.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there was a time in Florida, long before I had kids, that I'd had a dream of Matthew and I standing in the kitchen of this house, and me saying to my husband, like, I can't believe this house is ours. Well, at the time, it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a dream that I just pushed off to the side. And, you know, even after moving home and my grandfather passed away soon after, the house, we my dad had planned on selling it, and
Uh-huh.
then he had a change of heart and was like, I'm going to give this home to you. And so it was a full circle moment.
That's amazing.
It is, and in that home is where I found out about the house that was our first home when we moved back, from a man by the name of Mr. Brian
Mm-hmm.
out of Coffee County. And we rented that home for 5 years, almost 5 years.
Yeah.
And then we were able to move into our new to us home in March of this year.
Yeah.
So,
That's
mhm.
amazing. And I think, people all the time want to hear from the Lord, like audibly, like they want to
Mhm.
hear Him speak. But the Lord can speak to us through dreams.
He can.
And we don't always recognize it as that
Right.
until we have that God wink. And you're
Mhm.
like, wow, okay, maybe that was the Lord, letting me know that this is going to be my home one day. And
Mhm.
now it
And
is.
now it is. Yeah.
And you were telling me last night that, um, it didn't make sense for this home to be yours.
It doesn't. Not in a not in a like like society looking at it,
Yeah.
but the Lord has, like I said, has worked in my life from day one.
Mm-hmm.
um I have been blessed with, my parents got married when I was in kindergarten,
Mm-hmm.
and the man who I call my dad adopted me and
Yeah.
has brought me in as his own, and has treated me no different than my brother, who
Yeah.
is biologically his.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's like in society's eyes, all the cards have to line up perfectly for
Mhm.
something to happen,
Mhm.
but that's not the case because the Lord can make something happen because He wants it to happen.
That's right. That's
And
right.
so it might not make sense, but
Mhm.
it happened for you because that was His plan for you.
That's right.
And I think, that's kind of like the dream that you
the
had.
dream, yeah, yeah. And yeah, like I can look back and see all the little God winks and all the connections that have come together. And sometimes I think that it's interesting and important for us to look back on
Yes.
life and how it has unraveled, because sometimes it is not until 5 or 10 years later that we realize, like, wow, God had a plan from the very beginning. Like, he was not taken aback by anything.
Yeah.
He wasn't shocked. He wasn't startled. Like, he
Yeah.
knew. He knew that everything that has happened was going to happen. And if you allow him, he will turn it for his good.
Yeah.
He will. He will.
And I often have to remind myself, you know, it's so important to look back at your life,
Mhm.
but it's also important to look back at the times that God got you this far,
Mhm.
and he's not going to leave you where you're at. Like, he's going to
Right.
continue to carry you on even farther. And so when you go through hard times, see where God has brought you and that he didn't abandon you last time, so why would he
Mhm.
this time?
Right.
And I think that that's encouraging
It is.
to know that he'll do it again and again.
He will. He will. And there's been many of times where I feel like God had been silent with me.
Me too.
Yeah. And sometimes I would even think that maybe the Lord was punishing me for things that I had done. And one of those times in my life was when, after we had Bowen, we had tried to start having more children,
Yeah.
and we lost 3 babies in a year. And by the time we had lost that third baby, it was like, what is happening? Like,
Yeah.
is he hearing us? Like, what is he doing? Um but it was very soon after we moved back home to Tennessee that I found a doctor that was willing to take me and listen to
And
my issues
advocate
and
for you.
advocate for me
Yeah.
and find out what the issues were. And it was Dr. Chesney at Murfreesboro Medical Center in
Uh-huh.
and he took my issues seriously and medicated, like, was able to provide me the medication that I needed to stay pregnant. And that's how I got Tate and Hope. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. And even through the loss and the heartbreak that you
Mhm.
experienced, you might not have Tate or Hope if
Yeah.
not for
That's right.
God leading you through all of that.
That's right. That's
Um,
right. Yeah.
so that's just a beautiful
Mhm.
story. And I know that that's very vulnerable. So thank you for
Oh
sharing
yeah.
that part of your
Yeah.
life. And I know that so many women can relate to that.
Yeah.
Um, I know so many women that can relate to that. So I know
Yeah.
that that is going to be very encouraging
Mhm.
to women who are, hoping for that
Right.
blessing. But do you just want to share how photography has just impacted your life in Warren County and
Yeah.
how it has just blessed your faith?
Oh, absolutely. So the amount of people that I come in contact with on a weekly basis is, to me, it's a lot,
Yeah.
um mostly seniors
Yeah.
are who I get to work with on a regular basis. And just being able to spend an hour or two with these kids
Mm-hmm.
before they are sent off into the world to do the next chapter in life, um, there's something very special about that. And but the Lord has blessed me in many ways, through my clients, through the fair. That has
Yes.
been just, it's a wonderful experience. And seeing the fair board work as hard as they do to bring the fair to Warren County, like,
Yes.
it's wonderful.
It
It is
is
wonderful.
wonderful.
Um, and then pageantry is a world that I have been blessed to work in, which blows my mind because I've never been in a pageant. I've never shot a pageant until your pageant.
Yes.
And so and that has opened up a world.
Well, the pageant world is blessed to have you because I
Oh, thank
cannot
you.
imagine anyone else capturing any of my
I
memories.
appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. And but probably my favorite things to shoot. I love to shoot everything pretty much, but um are events where I can do, like, just raw emotion,
Yeah.
candid photos of people just enjoying life and
Yeah.
enjoying our community. Um, so you will see me. I wish I was out a little bit more than I
Mhm.
am, but my schedule is so packed full. But I do try to make it out to community events
Yeah.
to capture some of what makes Warren County
Yes.
special.
And I've noticed, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but in places like Pizza Hut, I've
Hmm.
seen
Yes,
your
ma'am.
work.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so local businesses have put your arts, which
Mhm.
photography is art. They have put your art on the
They
walls,
have. They have.
and I just think that that's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
That and I haven't been in Pizza Hut in years, but I remember seeing that
Mhm.
like years ago.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Pizza Hut has my work displayed, and I know there's a few others. I can't think right off
Yeah, yeah.
but um and that just sparked something that I want to talk to you about too,
Yes.
is that a lot of my pictures who that have gotten a lot of views, or I've been able to sell prints, or that are in my calendar for this current year,
I
were
love that calendar.
thank you, but they're right place, right time.
Yeah.
And so I don't believe in like a coincidence.
No.
I believe that everything is like ordained by the Lord.
Yes, it
And
is.
so the first picture that I took of McMinnville that like that didn't go viral, but like people really liked it,
Yes.
was a picture that I took just on a random afternoon that I was crossing the road and the sun was setting, and I just snapped it and posted it. And that's how I got involved with Main Street Media.
Wow.
Or Main Street McMinnville.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And so then I started taking lots of pictures of downtown McMinnville, and you'll see them around floating
Yeah.
around. But yeah,
That's
yeah.
incredible.
So right place, right time.
Yes.
But ordained, it's all the Lord. So,
Yeah. And the Lord allows you to be at the right place at the right
absolutely,
time.
absolutely.
That's not a coincidence either.
Right, right.
But I just love all of your stories, and your testimony is so powerful. And maybe one more thing that you want to share is how motherhood is a big part of your ministry,
Mhm.
and
It
just
is.
leading
Okay.
your boys.
Yeah. Photography does allow me to be home, and during the day, most days, that's where I'm at, is with them, and just being able to provide for my family, but also be present at the same time, is a blessing. And I would not be able to do that without the Lord and without clients
Yeah.
who are willing to allow me to come out, and who, everybody that books with me appreciates what I'm able to provide back.
Yes.
But my boys are my world. They're my world. And they're funny and kind and smart and into everything. They're into everything. Boy mom.
Yeah.
And but I'm so thankful, so thankful that the Lord is going to allow me to raise them in Warren County.
Yes, that is such a blessing.
And I'm so thankful that people know who I am. So when they get older, people are like, I saw your kid out,
Yes.
and they were either
Yeah.
being good or bad, and I
Yeah.
can address that.
Yeah.
So there are so many perks to being in a small town. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for just sharing
Yeah.
everything, and from the disaster that you had with your home, to moving back to Warren County, to amazing opportunities that you've had with photography, and dreams that the Lord has placed on your heart. I think that so many people are going to be able to relate to you through the love that you've experienced, and some loss that you've also experienced. I just think that people are going to be really encouraged by that. I know that I am.
Thank you.
And you're a safe place for me. And I love being able to share with you and be real with you. And I'm thankful for our friendship.
Well, I'm thankful for our friendship too. And I want people to know that, like, if they have an interest in a hobby, like, to do it.
Yeah.
Like, don't wait. Just go ahead and take that plunge. It doesn't matter how old you are, or if your equipment is not the best. Like, just use what the Lord has blessed you with, and then continue to pursue, and those doors will open. I'm happy to help anybody who is wanting to learn photography or get involved in photography, whether that be showing you some stuff on the camera, or you coming to follow me on sessions. Like, I want people to experience the joy that I have in photography, and whatever they do.
And that's amazing.
So,
And I know that people are going to be blessed by that.
I hope
Just
so.
you being willing to share your talent, kind of like Kelly Slaughter being willing to help me do this.
Absolutely.
I had an
Absolutely.
interest in this. I wasn't sure if I could do it, but I reached out to her and she jumped fully on board with me.
Mhm.
And so that's just an example of using
Absolutely.
your talents to also help others.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
Well, thank you so much for joining me
Well,
today.
thank you for having
Thank
me.
you for being vulnerable and sharing.
Yeah.
And I just love you.
I love
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I guess that's it.
Okay.
And thank you so much for watching, and be tuned for the next episode of God is Groovy. Thank you.